Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Madeleine Parker, and this afternoon I'm going to do a tarot energy study report on the sign of Taurus. And I like to think that my reads pertain to whatever planet you have in that sign, whatever house that sign covers. Could be your second house, of course, your sun, your moon, most importantly, your ascendant. And so we're going to look at the month of June 2020. So I like to do these reads every now and again, like not all the time because it's a lot to do all the 12 signs, but I thought halfway through the year would be an important time to do it. And June is quite a lot going on in June. We've got these major eclipses, so probably the shifts and changes that are occurring from these eclipses will probably show up in the read. We've got this Sagittarius Sagittarius lunar on the 5th eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius, and for you guys that's going to hit your 8th house of finances. Okay, so you might come into some fears, you might come in contact with some issues, some fears, transforming some fears around finances, because we've got your sun in the 2nd house shifting into the 3rd house of small businesses. So perhaps a fear is going to be removed that enables you to step forward into more communication around small businesses, something like that maybe. Maybe you decide to pay money off, or maybe you pay a debt off, but somehow you make some kind of a change financially, I would say, or you get over a deep fear around finances. And then we have the solar eclipse on the 21st in the sign of Cancer at 0 degrees, which will be your 3rd house. So this solar eclipse in Cancer is like kind of the culmination of something in your 3rd house: communication, small businesses, day-to-day sort of everything around you, siblings, communication. All right, so that's just the eclipse. I think I'm going to do some more videos around eclipse time, okay? So for now, then let's talk about some of the other planets happening for you guys, Taurus, in the month of June. We've got Mercury. Did I mention Mercury is going to be in your 3rd house in the sign of Cancer? And it will go retrograde on June 18th. So again, small businesses, communication, Mercury in your 3rd house in the sign of Cancer. Communications around businesses, but you're going to be compassionately, possibly working from home because it's in Cancer, and then we have that full moon, that solar eclipse in Cancer. So possible communication around heartfelt, empathic projects. Okay. Then we've got Venus in your 2nd house, RX in your 2nd house, projects from the past that are very Venusian, and Taurus is led by Venus. So this is probably you coming in, because we also have Saturn in retrograde in your 10th house. So I would think like sort of projects from the past coming back that you had a lot of, that were very beautiful, that were pleasurable, that were sensuous. And again, there's that Cancer energy of Mercury, and then the sun going into Cancer. Again, I guess it's going to be empathic and loving and home life, family, maybe involvement in this. Mars in your 11th going into your 10th, I guess, when it goes into Aries. Mars in Pisces currently. So for when does Mars go? At the end of the month. So most of the month Mars is going to be pretty relaxed for you, lower energies, but in the 11th house. So you'll probably be possibly active on social media or with your tribe, but with sort of communication of empathic. You might be getting sort of the motivation or the desire to sort of step out and be sort of a healer, empathic, and possibly start a small business around this that makes you money. You've got Jupiter in your 9th house, again going retrograde, possibly re-exploring old beliefs, looking at possible going back and relearning something that brings you more spiritual enlightenment or knowledge, or possible also going back and revisiting spiritually guided travel ideas around travel. The 9th house is also travel. And then again, let's go to Saturn, RX in your 10th house, projects. 10th house is Saturn. The house of Saturn is Capricorn, 10th house. I would say really grounding, really developing, going back and developing strong, structured around these small business ideas or communications that you might go out into the social media world with. with a higher purpose, because it's in Pisces, channeling, sort of higher calling, higher clarity. Then we've got Uranus in your first house, a whole surprising whole new way for you. So that's going to play out, though, I think, for 7 or 8 years. So in that period, you're going to sort of shift your way of earning your income, I would say, to something more independent, more home-based, family-based, making money, communication, small businesses, utilizing 11th house, social media. Again, Neptune in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces, gaining fogginess or clarity or dreams that set you free through social media. Then we've got, what do we have here? Pluto in your 9th house. A lot of belief systems shifting, reverse. Again, this is in retrograde. Your soul isn't going to want to, your soul isn't going to lie to you right now. And then your 2nd house, Gemini in your North Node in the 2nd house would indicate, again, communication, small businesses, but creating money and structure and increasing finances through communication, the 1st house, releasing old ideas. That's Pluto, and also your South Node is going to in Sagittarius. So there's going to be a lot of belief system shifting right now into your perceptions about what you can do, because you're 8 and 3rd about businesses and how to make money. And I bet that's going to come up in the read for Taurus as shifting fears, okay, which happens a lot. I mean, we know we're all going through that, but these planets really can activate or push, trigger us, especially eclipses, into more action towards our soul's truth. Sometimes it looks like crisis. Sometimes it plays out as a crisis. But let's have a look for the sign of Taurus, please. May you please guide us, Spirit, highest angels and guides. May you please descend from the heavens and be with us in this card read so we may be guided. Thank you, Spirit. Taurus is the 2nd house, 2 times. Ooh, commitment, contract, higher. That's higher. Higher calling, higher divine, making choices for a higher, committing to something, committing to something that you believe that is to be of good. And look at that. Wow, that's really nice for you guys, Taurus. So, Tower card at the end changes, okay? That's basically what eclipses are, is rapid changing. I'm going to move this down a little more so you can see it. All right, so, all right, Taurus, what do we got here? We start out with this Hierophant, Knight of Wands in the heart space, King of Pentacles in my head-heart alignment space, and then we've got the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. This is in my emotional section of the read, and this is basically saying that there is now an up. You know, when we were talking about the solar eclipse at the end of the month of June is a sort of a culmination. So I would say there is now a desire to really commit to progressing something forward, and it's going to change your life. And this is the fear card showing up, and so I would say during June, again, June might, because of these retrograde planets, this card comes up a lot. This is the Pluto in retrograde, and this is the Hermit card, representing time in this period of June with this eclipse, because the moon is coming to activate fears that have thrown you out of alignment and not living your true adventurous, spirited nature. Because of the Capricorn here, because now so in other words, we're mastering a merging of these two worlds of being free and having adventure, and then using your Taurian pragmaticisms and practicality and stability and steadiness, and turning and figuring out how to merge the two in order to make a new financial opportunity. So in other words, what I'm going to say is you've attracted into your life a financial opportunity that enables you to merge the two worlds of your desires. In other words, to not have to sacrifice adventure and excitement because we are talking about Sagittarius, the sign of Sagittarius, so that eclipse at the beginning of the month in Sagittarius is going to show you the adventure in you that you've neglected about yourself, that you're going to see you really, you're going to understand the fears that made you turn away from a more adventurously spirited life, from living from your heart, because you're going to have some kind of a financial opportunity. You're going to commit to some kind of a project that sets you, that liberates you, that you can take forward, that you much prefer, that you can, that you don't have to, it's going to change the way you work. You don't have to work so hard, and you're going to be more inspired doing something you truly love. So it's like there's this, look at this line here. We get the Ace of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, the Chariot. So you're in this moment of introspection, which is going to happen in June with all these retrograde planets. You're going to become cognizant and understanding of a deep wounded issue that you hold, that stops you from making choices from your heart, that keeps you turning away in self-abandonment, or abandoning that in you which inspires you, in order to create stability. So what you're going to notice is that you're going to understand through the retrograde planets in June, a spiritual connection here. We have all these spiritual cards around it. That's going to give you clarity on how to go forward with something you love financially. That's going to change the trap of working really, really hard. So it's towering this stuck experience, and you're going to realize that it was your fears that trapped you. That's what it's saying. And that there's some sort of a financial opportunity comes in that's going to be motivated by your inspiration, that shows you that your experience of working really hard is going to be alleviated, because so you haven't merged the passion with this structured Tauran hardworking aspect that you carry in you, the grounds things, like grounds projects, but you haven't devoted yourself to what you truly desire. And so now you're understanding that it was the lack of devotion and a fear of it not happening was the cause of not balancing your world and your life. So you now are devoted to something you love to make you happy, that also attracts it. That is a beautiful card that effortlessly attracts you to abundance. You're going to be more inspired, and it's going to end you having to work too hard. That's going to be over, and that trap is going to be over. So what else, Taurus? A new start. Well, that's always coming up. Prosperity lies ahead. That's what it's saying. And a time for healing. And those planets in the Cancer sign is healing. So a lot of a lot of this comes with healing and rebalancing in your relationships. Again, this is sort of a healing card too. It's sort of coming in and healing this wound that throws you out of alignment, that's putting you more into an emotional balanced state going forward. So in other words, you're aligning your yin and your yang, your emotional, you're becoming emotionally, you haven't neglected your emotions before. You didn't care about your emotions. You wanted stabilities and finance, and you put your emotional needs on the back burner. But you're seeing that because of Pluto, like I said, Pluto in retrograde in your, was it your second house? I forget. You're not going to be, your soul isn't going to lie. You can't live a lie. So where was Pluto for you guys? Oh, in your 9th house. So you're shifting a belief system. Then we get the High Priestess here. Around aligning spiritually with aligning your skills as a practical foundation stabilizer, and incorporating it with spiritualism, causing a yin and yang effect, which is going to put you in a more abundant, which is the ultimate balance. It's like you've discovered a balance. You're going to discover how to merge your two worlds and live much more fulfilled. All right, Taurus, thank you for watching. Namaste.